It's time for your Gianna Volpe report, brought to you in part by Village Overhead Door in Southold by Victor Giannini, author of Counselor, Maximus Health and Fitness in Riverhead, Montauk Beverage, Michael Evans, author of The Real Matrix, International Executive Protection, and Waters Crest Winery. Good morning, Gianna.
Good morning, Bruce. How are you this morning?
I'm just peachy keen, fine, and ducky. Are you kidding? It's a damn good thing the window is closed, otherwise we'd be hanging off the fire escape.
So we have Mary Latham in the studio this morning.
She just snuck in, didn't she? Like right under the bell. I like that, Mary. That's really good.
She got here right in time.
Yeah, the theme was playing. She walked in. It was like out of a movie, out of what Martin Block used to do when he did the original Make Believe Ballroom in the 1930s. He'd walk up and walk into the studio as the bridge was playing in the theme.
Really?
Sit down and
That's
start.
So cool.
Which is what she just did.
That would be like me too. Me and Mary. So Mary is doing the More Good road trip, and I love this. I'm going to read what she has written on GoFundMe. In a world overrun with negative news, it's easy to forget that there is more good out there, and I'm setting out to prove it. This fall, she's fueling up her mother's old Subaru for a road trip to travel to every one of the 50 states, collecting stories that show every day across America that good lies within all of us, and it's taking action. A reminder that there's more good than bad. You're shaking your head at this? Bruce, how could you? So she's raised she's approaching
Mary, what are you thinking, Mary?
I missed you shaking your head, so I guess I was wondering why you're shaking your head.
Yeah, me too. I think this is such a phenomenal idea.
It is a great idea. I just think you're going to be disappointed.
So what is 15,000? What is that for the gas? No. How much is gas going to cost, do you think?
I think it more so covers like gas and
tires,
meals. Yeah, maybe tires halfway.
Brakes.
Yeah, just kind of like necessities.
So have you gotten, or are you going to get some work done on the car before you leave?
Yes.
I'm all worried about you.
We're going to put new tires on the car and get it all checked out. And
nice.
my brother's a mechanic, so he's going to come out and give me a full drill on how to handle everything with the car, so I'm completely prepared.
Where is he?
And I have
mechanic?
Well, he's actually in Delaware.
Okay. Because Orient Service Center, Billy Hans.
Yes, of course.
He's the best. I love Billy. So tell me how you got here, how you got to this idea, because it's phenomenal. I think it's the coolest thing.
Thank you. So it kind of started from a negative situation. It was when Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting had happened.
Okay.
And I was reading about the news, and right in the middle of reading the news, a coworker came in, and he had a cup of coffee with him, and he said, "You should have come today with me to Starbucks." And I said, "No, couldn't fit it in the budget." And he said, "No, it was free." The Sandy Hook had happened December 14th, so it was right around Christmas, and someone had gone in earlier and bought cards for their clients or employees, and bought one extra one for $100 and said, "Run it out on the people behind me."
How cute is that?
Yeah. So it was really nice, and I called my mom. I used to call her every morning, and I told her the story, and then right after I just spent 10 more minutes focusing on the shooting and just how sad it was and tragic, and she kind of rerouted my thoughts and said, there's always going to be these really terrible things that happen, but think about that other story you just told me about the man with the coffee and focus on that. And so that was kind of like how it all began. And I started a Facebook page with a friend of mine, and we would take turns posting every day, little stories that people would send us in. And then right after that, it was about 11 days later, my mom was in the hospital. She had cancer.
Oh my gosh.
So I was still getting a lot of the stories in. And so I was reading them to my family while we were sitting there, and we were just sitting in a hospital waiting room for 5 days, and it was like the worst thing in the world.
That is the worst. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I decided I wanted to start collecting these stories in a bigger way and make books for hospital waiting rooms for people that are sitting there in the worst time of their lives and they need some hope.
Okay. That's a phenomenal idea.
Thank you.
It really is. So that's and it's funny because you mentioned Orient. Do you know Sue from Orient?
Yes, she rides her bike around. I actually I wrote in the Quill in Greenport High School, and I wrote an article about her once.
Did you really?
Because I would see her every morning with my mom. She would be riding the bike around Orient picking up garbage. And so I wrote an article about her, and then she sent me a package, like a care package.
Do you have her CD?
Yes, the CD was included, and some notebooks and inspirational quotes.
I gotta tell you, I listened to that CD like every day last year. I actually just gifted it to my best friend in LA.
Oh wow!
Because it had such an effect on me. Sue from Orient, she has the CD that is like tips for better living kind of thing, and it's set to classical music, and it's just, put your seatbelt on before you start driving your car.
Yeah, good tips for me.
Yeah, right. And, about not judging others and stuff exactly like this. And she does it as a humanitarian effort. She gives it away like for free at the Orient Service Center. And it just fits in so well with what we're talking about this morning. This is a woman that she lives that.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
She lives random acts of kindness.
But now, Mary, you're going across country.
Yes.
Road map or GPS?
So it's interesting. I haven't really thought about my route exactly in detail yet because I'm staying in different towns in each state. And so I'm kind of just trying to fit everyone in and not figure out the best, easy way to get to this place, It's more so maybe take some back roads, maybe see as many towns as possible.
But what's the overarching goal here?
I guess to start highlighting positive news. Just
because there's a saying in broadcasting and in television particularly, is that if it bleeds, it leads.
Yes.
And I'm sure you've heard that.
Right.
You watch any television newscast, it's always the tragic stuff that makes it. No one ever hears about the good stuff.
Right.
That's
And there are what? There are 10 million people living or in New York City on any given day. There are 10 million people in the city of New York.
Right.
Most of them go do whatever it is that they're doing, and they get home.
I'm seeing a change, though.
Fine.
I'm seeing a change in atmosphere. Haven't you, like on Facebook and whatnot? I feel like that people are looking for positive stories these days.
Yeah, but that's the other thing. Now, and you're doing this thing on Facebook, and you're doing the GoFundMe page, but a lot of Facebook posts these days, if you read them, the internet is loaded with violent, nasty, for lack of a better word for it. And here you are, you're out there being roses and sunshine.
I try. I think it's more so that people aren't going to necessarily, like you said, it bleeds, it leads. I think that all of these positive stories come from something that did bleed. I mean, my story now is I'm doing this road trip, but my mom died and my life got shattered. And I could either go into a really dark place from that, or I could try to grow from it. And, she was a really, really bright light in my life. And I'm just trying to do something that honors that continues that light. And all these people that have these stories that they send them are similar things. Where
How old were you when your mom died?
26.
You're a baby.
Thank you.
You were a baby.
Yeah.
That's
I am
very young to
actually
lose a mother.
the baby in my family.
Yeah,
also.
but you know what? But you know what I mean. But you're very young. Mm-hmm. You're very young to have to endure that kind of a loss.
Yeah, and I think that what I'm trying to do is show when you do go through loss, you can rise from it. And all these people that I've already connected with in different towns and the things they're doing have all been through something terrible too, and they've risen from it. And I think that when you read that, it gives you hope.
How are you collecting these stories?
So I'm going to reach out to papers. My roommate, actually, she just helped me make a press release. And so I'm going to start
that's awesome.
Sending it to all of the papers in each state I go to. And then so that it's not just people on Facebook, but, maybe the old guy that you get your hair cut from that's really cool. And he reads the paper and he has an awesome story of something that happened to him when he was 15. Just any stories of...
She's doing it reporter style. She's collecting leads.
So I see.
And what better way than the local papers?
But now here's the question: is she verifying the sources? Ooh.
Oh, she's gonna have to go to the source.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
I
meet
think
with
that's
this-
as a reporter, this is phenomenally interesting because she's going to all 50 states to find a story, to find it, to go. Right? I guess you're gonna.
Yeah, and the people I stay with, like people have offered guest rooms or a spare couch, so I'm going to stay with them, and I'd like to highlight them. I created a website
Right.
that I can update every day.
What is the website?
Moregood.today.
Moregood.today.
And right now it's just, it's empty. There's nothing there but the video
I was gonna
explaining
ask,
it. But each day as I'm traveling and I'm a photographer, I'd like to do landscape photos and all of that, and then collect, meet the hairdresser or whoever it is that read the thing and reached out to me at a coffee shop for an hour and record his story. And those will be the stories that go in the book at the end. Just one story from each state. But all along the entire journey, I'd like to be putting up on the website the people I stay with, stories about them, any positive little stories I get to. But the big, huge ones will be
And the
compiled.
intended purpose of the book is to sit in hospital waiting rooms.
Yes.
Those are very... you know this because you were there with your mom. Those are very stressful places.
They are not the funnest.
No, they're not fun. And they usually... It's pretty at... John, have you ever been in a waiting room?
yes.
I mean, you're sitting in this... You're lucky they have a
That's
television and a
nice,
3-month-old magazine.
Right. And it's very
And you're
clinical.
waiting... And
It's very
you're waiting...
clinical.
Yeah, it's very clinical, and you're waiting for the bad news. And
Right.
you know that bad news is coming.
Right.
You just know it.
Yeah. And when we were actually in the waiting room, there was a family next to us. We were there for 5 days, and the family was fighting the whole time. And it was just so horrible to see, but it makes you so grateful because I am one of 4 children, and my parents were married for over 40 years, and it was
Wow.
just,
That's
we are
so
very, very
beautiful.
close.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we were very lucky.
But the other thing with that is the dynamics of families are such that even,
Yeah.
you can never get rid of the dynamics.
Right.
Even in a time of tragedy, the dynamics are there. Mm-hmm. And there's always going to...
And then, you're lucky if you have somebody that's halfway decent at communicating with people, that's communicating with you. I want to bring up this website. Mary Latham is local. She's traveling around the country, collecting positive stories. We want to help her out. GoFundMe.com/moregood to help her raise money. She's raised about $7,000 of $15,000. So we want to help her get there because if you don't, how does GoFundMe work? If you don't make it, do you get?
No, they give you.
Okay.
They give you the money as it goes along.
All right, good. So GoFundMe.com/moregood. When's the cutoff date for?
Well, it kind of just continues. It goes throughout my trip, so people can donate whenever throughout the next year of the adventure.
Great. So when do you leave?
October 29th.
Okay, this October?
Yep.
Oh my gosh, it's coming up. All right, well, again, that website is GoFundMe.com/moregood. Best of luck, Mary. So we'll make a recording so you can share this around the Facebook. Coming up next, we've got Maria McBride.
Waters Crest Winery, 28735 Main Road in Cutchogue, across from Wickham Fruit Farms, is the crest of the North Fork. It's a small boutique winery where the whites are dry and crisp and the reds are big and bold. Their grapes are carefully selected from local North Fork growers and made into wine that will be remembered long after the meal is finished or the celebration is ended. They're open daily at noon until 9 on Friday and Saturday nights. Their tasting room features food from Touch of Venice, so the experience will be everything you were hoping for and then some. They're nationally known for their fine wines, so come and see for yourself what everyone is talking about. There's music every Wednesday evening from 7 until 10 to chase those midweek blues. Call 631-734-5065 or come on in to Waters Crest Winery on the main road in Cutchogue across from Wickham's Fruit Farm. Waters Crest Winery, the crest of the North Fork.
An overhead door serves a purpose, and it should be as beautiful as the rest of your home or building. For more than 30 years, Village Overhead Doors has been creating and installing beautiful garage doors for contractors and homeowners on the North and South Forks. They also install automatic garage door openers that open with the click of a remote, so there's no getting out of the car in bad weather. For a wide range of styles from lifetime steel doors to custom-made wood doors, and for all your garage door needs, please call 765-4963 today and find out how your garage door can be a beautiful focal point of your home or building's exterior. Village Overhead Doors of Southold, 765-4963. Make the call and let them add beauty and value to your home or business.
If you're feeling guilty about the past, worried about the future, feel stuck in your present situation, or you're depressed, there is a reason for that. Your perception of yourself was formed by the adults you grew up around, school, and now as an adult, you're surrounded by people who say suffering is normal. You're bombarded by commercials that try to sell you something to change your self-perception, or by photoshopped pictures of celebrities in magazines. You live in a matrix that's built on lies. The real Matrix pulls the curtain back on those lies. Things are about to change for you. If you're ready, order your copy of The Real Matrix by Michael Evans now, or download it at therealmatrixbook.com. All proceeds will be donated to charity. Discover who you really are and not what others want you to believe. More and more executives understand that in the world they live in, they are a target, and that's why more and more of them have protection. Now you can be part of this growing industry. International Executive Protection can help you on your way to being a certified protection operator. This is a growth industry that relies on people with clean backgrounds, high ethics, and a willingness to get involved. International Executive Protection teaches you everything, so when you're on assignment for them, you'll be able to deal with anything that comes up, from disruptive fans to disgruntled former employees. Safety is most people's biggest concern. And the best part of it is that being a certified protection operator helps you stay safe too. So call 1-727-422-7233 and get all the details for yourself. That's 1-727-422-7233, or by email to info@internationalep.com for International Executive Protection.